sa aking mga kapwa miyembro ng kapulungan, sa ating mga panauhin na naririto ngayon at sa sambayanang Pilipino. Before we begin, at bago natin ipagpatuloy itong proseso ng impeachment, tandaan natin na hindi lingid sa ating kaalaman na marami pa tayong ibang kinakaharap na problema. Let us accordingly acknowledge the pressing challenges our country faces. Oil prices are rising. The cost of basic goods is increasing. Ordinary Filipinos feel the weight of daily life more than ever. And yet, even as we undertake this solemn constitutional duty, the House of Representatives does not forget its other responsibilities. Kahit may impeachment, tuloy pa rin tayo sa iba nating obligasyon. We have, for example, acted to ease the burden of rising fuel costs, passing a bill authorizing the suspension or reduction of excise taxes. Nariyan na po ang panukalang batas, pinag-aralan, pinag-isipan, at inaasahang makatutulong sa ating mga kababayan. We also continue to work on measures that address inflation, food security, and social services. Also, just this March 2026, the House has acted on measures that directly affect the daily lives of Filipinos, passing a bill abolishing the travel tax, advancing legislation to institutionalize digital payments in government transactions, and pushing reforms to make public services more accessible and efficient. The House has also advanced key education reforms, including amendments to the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act and the Presidential Merit Scholarship Program. This strengthens support for students and investing as well in the country's future workforce. And after nationwide consultations across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, the House has pushed forward the long-awaited Anti-Political Dynasty Bill with plenary deliberations recently completed. These actions remind us that governance is a constant balancing act, attending to urgent needs while fulfilling constitutional obligations. Kahit may impeachment, tuloy tayo sa iba nating tungkulin. Ang ating serbisyo publiko ay hindi napuputol, hindi tumitigil kahit sa gitna ng pinakamabigat na tungkulin. While we scrutinize those in power, we do not lose sight of the hardships faced by the powerless. Having said that, we proceed today fully aware of our dual duty to hold public officials accountable and to serve the people who entrusted us with this mandate. And so now, we begin. Dito nagsisimula ang opisyal na pagdinig ng kasong ito. Sa ating pagsisimula, tandaan natin na ang impeachment ay patungkol sa pananagutan sa bayan. Kaya't marapat lamang na balikan natin ang ating panunumpa. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and conscientiously fulfill my duties, preserve and defend the Constitution, execute its laws, do justice to every man, and consecrate myself to the service of the nation. Madaling bigkasin, pero mahirap panindigan. Hindi ito simpleng ritual. Ito ay isang pangako, isang panata ng pananagutan, hindi lamang sa batas, kung hindi sa bayan. Let me lay out the agenda for today. First, we establish the ground rules or the guidelines, not as obstacles, but as safeguards. Their purpose is simple: to maintain order, to allow clarity, so that truth may emerge unimpeded. Ang patakaran ay hindi hadlang sa katotohanan. Ito ang daan upang ito'y malinaw na lumitaw. Second, we move to the initial hearing. Opisyal po nating buksan ang pagdinig sa impeachment na ito. Third, and as part of this initial hearing, we act on pending motions, request for subpoenas, and set the schedule for the next hearings. At the core of these proceedings is probable cause. That is the objective of these hearings. We shall determine whether there is probable cause for impeachment. Ngunit, paano ba natin masasabi na merong probable cause? Let us be clear. This is not the probable cause of criminal procedure. Impeachment is not a criminal trial. It is a constitutional and policy exercise entrusted not to the courts, but to the House of Representatives. As we have seen in previous proceedings against Ombudsman Mercedes Gutierrez, the classical legal definition of probable cause was not applied. And for good reason. Impeachment calls for judgment, not mere calculation. It asks not only what can be proven, but what can be justified before the people. As the late Father Joaquin Bernas said, impeachment is about what is best for the country. Hindi lang ito tanong ng kung ano ang nasa batas. Ito rin ay tanong ng kapakanan ng bayan. Consider the ground of betrayal of public trust. What does it mean? Can it be reduced to a single act? A measurable threshold? Or is it something more? Something felt as much as it is proven? Paano mo susukatin ang pagtataksil sa tiwala? Sa bilang ba ng ebidensya o sa bigat ng paglabag? We are confronted with serious allegations, threats against the President, accumulation of ill-gotten wealth, SALN violations, misuse of confidential funds, disregard of safeguards for transparency, and defiance of constitutional process. These are not trivial matters. They go to the very heart of public trust. May mga kasalanang hindi kailangang ipaliwanag, ramdam agad ng taong bayan. The truth is, betrayal of public trust resists rigid definition. And if the standard is not mechanical, neither can the threshold to examine it be mechanical. Kung ang batayan ay may bahid ng moralidad, ang paghusga ay hindi maiiwasan dumaan sa konsensya. Conscience becomes our guide, not as a substitute for evidence, but as its interpreter. Evidence tells us what happened. Conscience tells us what it means. Ang batas ang nagbibigay ng balangkas. Ang konsensya ang magbibigay ng kahulugan. Therefore, to determine probable cause is to listen, to weigh, and to decide, not by rigid formulas alone, but by what is just and right for the Filipino people. Ngunit malinaw sa atin, ang araw na ito ay simula pa lamang. Sa mga darating na linggo, sa mga susunod na pagdinig, hihimayin natin ang mga aligasyon isa-isa. Susuriin ang bawat ebidensya. Magtatawag tayo ng mga testigo. Pakikinggan ang bawat argumento at titimbangin ang depensa. Today is just the beginning of a process that demands patience, discipline, and vigilance. At sa prosesong ito, sisikapin nating maging tapat, hindi lamang sa batas, kundi sa sambayanang Pilipino. And in the search for probable cause, let us remember that what we are conducting here is merely investigative in nature, where the question is not guilt, but whether there is sufficient basis to proceed to trial in the Senate. At this stage, in this committee, there is no deprivation. No one is being removed from office here. No one is being disqualified. No final judgment is being rendered. Those consequences, if they are to come at all, arise only in the Senate, where the trial is held, where the evidence is fully ventilated, and where the full measure of due process applies. But this is not to say that due process is absent here. Far from it. We have to remember that whatever we do here in the committee must always be in accordance with the Constitution, particularly the demands of due process. The Vice President has been invited to participate. She is reportedly prepared for a full-scale legal battle, a bloodbath, as it has been described, assembling a very large team of lawyers. She is apparently ready to face the accusations and defend herself at length. And yet it appears she will not even participate. We recall the words of Justice Antonio Tiham in the previous impeachment against Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sireno. Failure to participate in the hearings before the Committee on Justice is tantamount to a culpable violation of the Constitution. Ayon sa pananaw na iyon, ang hindi pagharap sa proseso ay maaaring ituring na patuloy na paglabag sa saligang batas. Ang tanong ngayon, maaari rin ba nating sabihin ito sa Vice Presidente? Let us remember, the Vice President took the same oath. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and conscientiously fulfill my duties, preserve and defend the Constitution, execute its laws, do justice to every man, and consecrate myself to the service of the nation. Lahat ho ng kawani ng gobyerno, lahat ng opisyal ng pamahalaan, iisa ang panunumpa, iisa ang pamantayan, iisa ang pananagutan. Ang panunumpang ito ay hindi lamang pangako ng panunungkulan. Ito ay panata ng pagharap sa pananagutan at paggalang sa saligang batas. Dito sa komite, susundan natin ang saligang batas. Hindi natin tatalikuran ang ating tungkulin. Iyan ang inaasahan ng taong bayan. Hindi pag-iwas, kundi pagharap. Hindi katahimikan, kundi pananagutan. Sapagkat ang panunumpa ay hindi lamang binibigkas sa simula. Ito ay pinatutunayan sa bawat pagkakataon na tayo ay sinusubok. So regardless of the participation of the Vice President, and even in her absence, this committee will proceed. We will do our duty with resolve, without hesitation, and without delay. The Constitution entrusts the House with the exclusive power to initiate impeachment cases, and this committee stands at the forefront of that responsibility. Tayo lamang, ang Committee on Justice lamang, ang tahasang binigyan ng ganitong tungkulin sa saligang batas. In the end, this is not merely a procedural exercise. This is a test of judgment, of conscience, and of courage. Let us proceed with diligence, with fairness, with honesty, knowing that our actions today will echo far beyond this chamber. And so we return to where we began. Sa huli, babalik tayo sa ating panunumpa. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and conscientiously fulfill my duties, preserve and defend the Constitution, execute its laws, do justice to every man, and consecrate myself to the service of the nation. Madaling bigkasin, pero mahirap panindigan. Ang tanong, para sa lahat ng kawani ng gobyerno, para sa lahat ng opisyal ng pamahalaan, para sa vice-presidente, tinutupad ba natin ito? Pinaninindigan ba natin ito? Iyan ang tanong na sisimulan nating sagutin dito sa impeachment na ito. Maraming salamat po.